level 19. Now we can start progressing into the Delph, I guess. Sweet. Awakener 8. There we go. What's poppin'? Sadly, not me. Holy shit, you have cold hands. I know a spot on my body that is pretty warm. My forehead. So you really need to stay in melee range to that dude so the timer stops. My car is black blue. What item should I replace? So I hit 3 million DPS in 3.19. Everything. I could Orb of Horizon them. Lyra, Glenach, Lyra, Valdo, Glenach, Lyra, Hamlet. Easy. Ah! I got burnt. Yeah, well, and super insanity hyper speed Kitama is actually no fun. It's very hard to predict his attacks. What do you want to do? Join the map so the Baron gets actually twice HP? Nope, not gonna happen, dude. I'm not gonna spend another 20 minutes on this fucking boss, but I did it. Conqueror number 1 down. Oh man. At least give me Hunter Exalted Orb. Oh, didn't even drop something. If I'm actually getting to Cyrus now. Oh shit. Oh shit. We're gonna do Cyrus 8 or less than 500,000 DPS, man. Yo, Cyrus! What? Yay! We did it! It took only 19 minutes, dude! Easy fucking clap, man! Easy! And an Awakener Orb. Holy shit! But that pretty much proves... Dude, 483k Cyrus DPS with flasks up, man.
Additional storage capacity.
This just
received.
proves Cyrus.
Wow, first try.
Cyrus doesn't need gear, man. You just need to know how this fight works. Always do your metamorphs. Num 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 num. Bam! Lina Cairns, favorite map slot unlocked. 118 out of 118. Day 3 of the league. Cyrus 8 down. Good. Nice progress. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Holy moly. We're done. Dude, Atlas is clear. Awakener Cyrus 8 is down, 118 of 118. It's the end of day 3 for me on the league, or hardly day 4 or whatever you want to call it. But dude, we're done. 3 days. Holy shit, I did not expect to going that deep today. As you remember, yesterday I was like at somewhere like 60 completion or something. I was Awakener 6. And now, yeah, basically League Start is done. It was like a 11-hour grind. And yeah, I want to give you my final thoughts about the Fireburst League Start, because it's most likely that I'm going to start a new build tomorrow for farming or finally starting to play the game. They actually released some new MTXs, the currency cyclone effect, as well as the celestial brand. This is something I'm actually very interested in. So maybe the new build is going to be a brand build, but not sure yet. I have to like make my decision tomorrow when I wake up and just chill a little bit, you know, just get all the league start stress away. And yeah, so how did the build perform in the high-end stages on Awakener 8 tier 16 maps? A lot of people may wonder. And I gotta say, mapping-wise, it's really smooth. It just hold up, basically. When it comes to bossing, absolute monster garbage. Like, I would really like to show you the Cyrus footage of Awakener 8, but I'm probably just gonna show you like the last 10 seconds or something, or 15 seconds. The thing is, like, the entire Cyrus fight took over 19 minutes. You know, the Conquerors in Awakener 8 took like, I don't know, 3 minutes or something like that. So when it comes to bossing, absolute garbage, you know. Reason for that, at the moment, I'm running 480k DPS, and this is with flasks up. So I think I never had a league start with that low DPS. As I said, monster in clearing, absolute dog shit for bossing, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible, okay? I did kill all the content today, besides Maven and the invitation, stuff like that. But I think I actually currently have more currency on my stash than I actually invested into the build. There has been a couple of changes that I adjusted on the build that I'm going to go over in a second. But overall, like, now I just want to point you towards a way where you could improve the character and how should it look like in the later stages, right? So I went from the Tabula into a Chaos that give me actually, like, I don't know, 1.5k, 1.6k life basically for free. The only problem is the Tabula had my 6-link setup, right? So the build is kind of gem starved when it comes to that. I still run my Stonebrand setup with Elite Proliferation, Hex Touch, Despair. The Herald of Thunder is now purely with an Elemental Proliferation. I do not use Flame Surge anymore because I just don't have the sockets for it anymore, right? So I'm actually considering if Chaos Heart is probably not the way to go anymore, just because of the amount of gems that I would like to have. You know, I cast an image taking Immortal Call, my Loft cast on Death Portal, for example, you know, all gone, but therefore we have like a bunch more life. When it comes to gems, I actually bought 4 Awaken gems today, which is Deadly Ailments. I swapped to Cruelty support instead of Immolate. Then we have Awaken Burning Damage, then we have the Unbound Ailments and Swift Afflictions, and for some reason the gems are super cheap, actually. I think the most expensive one, I think it was Deadly Ailments, I'm not sure, it might actually be Unbound Ailments. It was somewhere around 30 chaos, so I'm gonna say for Awaken gems this early on, like 20-30 chaos a piece, you know, is definitely worth the investment overall. So other than that, nothing has changed in the gear. I did set up my flasks a little bit, so I have now a little bit more movement speed on my Quicksilver. I actually bought an Series Promise, perfectly rolled for 3 chaos, so that's pretty good as well because of the alias extra chaos that will help other ignites basically, right? Then just a life flask with Corrupting Blood, so nothing too special. When it comes to the skill tree, I did not really make a lot of changes. I think the only thing that I have done here is taking like 5 points away from like life and put them into Corruption and Chaos Mastery with the effect of Withered. Obviously, these couple Chaos Knots are completely useless. I mean, yes, the enemy takes Chaos damage, but we are still dealing fire damage and we are scaling, so that increased Chaos damage doesn't do anything. Actually, maybe it does with the Series Promise, like this little bit of chaos damage that we get, maybe. But the big effect is here, the increased effect of Withered, 35%, 55% with a Mastery, and this helps our boss damage quite a lot, I would say. Other than that, no changes. The current path of building link is in the description below for those people that are interested in it. So, how can we fix damage issues? Oh, and by the way, I definitely want to talk about the Black Flame Ring, because today on stream, there is so much misconception about this ring, right? And a lot of people ask me, would you take a replica Ember Wake over Black Flame? And the first question is, that's not a comparison, okay? This here, the Barracks Respite, the only purpose of this is clearing, okay? This doesn't do anything for bossing. So you would actually replace the Barracks Respite for Replica Emberwake, something I would have loved to do today when I've done Awakener and stuff. But I didn't have the currency for it. Now I have it, but now I'm not gonna buy it anymore, right? But I'm just saying, like, the Black Flame just changes only for your part, only one thing, and this is instead of, like, Flammability, you go for Despair. Because the thing is, like, Black Flame doesn't really do anything on your side. It's just the monster is taking chaos damage instead of fire damage from your ignites. And that's why also Flame Surge is not that strong with the Despair setup or with the Black Flame. Just because the Flame Surge is not an ignite. It's just fire damage based off of your ignite, right? But the enemy will still take fire damage. And with this way with Black Flame using Despair, we are not going for minus fire res, we're not going for flammability, we're not going for combustion support and stuff like that. So based on that, this is not a thing, right? I still think for the early budget, the Black Flame Ring with Despair is a lot stronger than the Fire version. I would actually assume that the Fire version is still stronger. I have not made a super high-end Black Flame POB, but I would assume with the amount of exposures that we have, especially as an Elementalist, with a probably like a triple curse setup with like Temp Chains, Flammability, Ela Weakness, maybe an Eye of Malice, I think that the end game potential, when we talk about a Fire Burst build above 100 Exalts, right? I think the Fire version is better, but before that point, I think Black Flame would definitely win the race, because now since Elemental Equilibrium got changed or nerfed, however you're gonna see it, right? We're not using that in that build anymore. We did beforehand, right? But just losing Elemental Equilibrium was a nerf to the Fire build, which was a passive buff to the Black Flame Despair thing, right? So Replica Emberwake would trade for the Barracks Respite in terms of bossing and Barracks Respite for mapping, but when it comes to the general understanding, as I say again, the thing is, you still increased fire damage, like you want to go for increased fire damage, you want to go for fire dot multi, everything that scales your ignite, right? Forget about the monster, just think about using this spear to lower their chaos resistance. Good. What else do I want to talk about the build on this current state? Actually, yeah. How can we improve the damage? Because at the moment it's garbage, right? Obviously, cluster jewels. Cluster jewels are like one of the most important things on an ignite setup. One would be over here, one would be over here. So I would skill away all these like travel nodes, all the life nodes over here, and get all these points into the cluster jewels. When it comes to which cluster jewels should you get, to be honest, I have made a bunch, I think like 4 different Fireburst versions in 3.14, so you can definitely check out, because the way of building it did not change at all, okay? So the high-end showcase as well is also in like my 3.14 videos for Fireburst, the full Elder version, the MOM agnostic version. Like there is stuff there, and there is a lot of other content creators that made Fireburst builds in the past, and the way will not change. It's just like getting the masteries that will not change here, right, with the recover life maybe. If you play the fire version, then definitely get the exposures as well. Then here a damage over time mastery is quite nice as well, and that's pretty much it, you know? Cluster Jewel over here, Cluster Jewel over there, and this will give you a tremendous amount of damage, as well as maybe some alternate quality gems, higher leveled how you say, awaken gems, and basically my staff is still the same garbage tier staff as it was from the beginning, right? And this is the staff I used for killing Awakener too. When it comes to global crit strike chance and the ally overload, as up to this date, it still does not work with Fire Burst. I'm not sure if this is intended or not, or if it's a bug, if it's getting fixed tomorrow. I'm just still having the ally overload in here because I'm always checking like now and then if it actually works now. Maybe there was a hot fix that I was just not aware of. But at the moment, as of right now, it does not work. So this way you would either take the block staff or even a bow with a quiver. So you use the quiver as a kind of a stat stick for more life resistance, or even going for some block nodes as well. But I think that the Eclipse staff can roll better modifiers, because I don't think that you can roll fire dot multi or something like that, or damage to spells, which helps actually our damage, because it increases our fire burst base damage. But I think the staff has more base damage. I also think that the best way of doing that, I'm not sure if it's still on the trait, that you get a synthesized weapon, right? Ignites, you inflict deal damage faster, implicit. So let me see, there was one staff, it's probably either sold or it's offline, let me see. It's actually, there is a war staff, there was another one. It's probably sold. It was in for 10x. So if you could get, you cannot even see it. Wait a second. Let me actually make this a little bit smaller so you can see what I'm talking about. A synthesized item like this, just as a normal staff that you can roll stuff, this is I think this is like the best damage. I don't think you can have a stat like this on your bow, right? Then another way would be anointments. I'm still not running any anointments. You could either take like maybe here the Searing Heart for ignites faster, right? Like I'm not using any of those. I'm not even sure how much ignite duration I currently have. We have where is it? Fire Burst 3.9 seconds. That's actually fair enough, I would say. Yeah, that's actually fair enough, to be honest. Like, it should be somewhere between 4 and 5 seconds, or roughly 4 to 6 seconds, somewhere this part, and then you should be fine. So my ignite is actually quite fine when it comes to that. But yeah, then others like Flask, like there is so many upgrade opportunities, but please check out the previous videos from the last leaks where I actually min-maxed this build to the toes. Because for me, my league start is now over, to be honest. Like, this is my league starter build. I've been up to Awakener 8. I killed Cyrus. It was garbage, but I still did it. I also did my completion here, and now it's time to just take a look on what is the next character we're gonna play, and then probably just find out a farming routine and basically farm up currency and get some nice other builds going. Alright, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.